Hello YouTubers, Manny here from Manny's How To Workshop with another video on my 2013 Kia Rio EX. And in this video I'm going to show you guys how to remove the airbag and the steering wheel. Okay, and this procedure is if you need to replace the clock ring. Okay, that senses, that's where you get your power for the horn, and also it senses the position of the steering wheel and all that, and then some of the controls on there as well. Okay, and this video is going to lead into another one that I'm going to make in regards to actually adding cruise control to my Kia, because you can see from the factory it doesn't have none of the controls either on this side or that side for the cruise control. Now there's a couple of videos out there on YouTube. Some people were saying that it's impossible to go ahead and install one or get one. There's even an aftermarket one, I believe, that puts a handle right here on the side, but obviously that one might have its own little issues. But if you can get one that's actually straight from Kia, and the one that I got from eBay, just like a couple other guys, for anywhere between like 125 to 175 bucks. And this came straight from what do you call it, a Korean guy himself. But anyway, that'll be in the other video. All right, so in order to remove the airbag, there are two screws that are hidden right here on the side. And let's see if I can get you a good shot. Wait. Okay, so right there in that hole, okay, there's a T40 Torx screw. There's one here, and there's one right there also. Okay, matter of fact, you can see it in there. That you have to remove rather, in order to get this to come out. And so what I did was, because the only attachment that I had was for this little guy. This is actually a T40. Let's see if we can see it. Oh, actually that one's a T30. Okay, this one is the T40. And if I can separate it, give me 1 second. Okay, focus. Yep, T40. And I put it on this attachment here, but what's happening is it would go in as far as this little lip right there, and it wouldn't allow the tip to go all the way into the screw when it's actually connected to the airbag. So I said, okay, well, let me see if I can find something else. And okay, so I brought the T30 just in case, and I ended up getting, I have another tool set like this one that has a handle, but it has the longer shank on the Torx bit. This one here is actually a T30, okay? And this one actually worked, but it only worked when I used it with my little 1/4-inch driver. So I got a little 1/4-inch socket here, and basically all I did was go like this, because that gave me more torque to be able to snap the screws. Not snap broken, but to break the torque on the screws. So that's how I loosened them. And then and then I just put this long bit back in there and just backed it out. Now that's the other thing I found out. The screws don't actually back out all the way, because part of inside the hole there's like a little plastic lip that actually holds them in place, which I guess is so that you don't lose them or it doesn't fall in there. Okay, but once you remove or loosen, I should say, those two screws, then this right here, the airbag itself, it becomes loose, and all you have to do is prop up, and it should come off. Now what I also did is I removed the fuse for the airbag and the fuse for the horn, because like I said, if you keep pushing on this right here, the horn will sound. And then the airbag fuse is right here. Matter of fact, it's right there. And if you look at the cover, it's the 6th one over to the right in the dead center. This other one right here is actually for the airbag light that comes on. So the airbag fuse is in here. The horn fuse is in the engine compartment. And it's this second from the top right there. Okay, so that's a blank empty spot. The second one is the horn. And I just put it right there. And if you look at the cover, it tells you where it's at. All right, so what you're going to need also for the nut that holds the steering wheel down is a 22 millimeter nut. So the screws are loosened. This right here pulls out of the way, and you can just tilt it up like this. And if you can actually just tuck it underneath the steering wheel right at the top, and it holds it in place for you, so you can work on these connectors. Okay, and let's see. Now, to loosen the connector, you see these little orange tabs right here. So if you have like a little pick like this one, then it's easier to get back here, right back there, and just like pop them out like this. And then once they come out, all you got to do is pull out the you see the connector, and if you just just work it like that, so that one comes out, and then just pry it like that, this other one comes out. Okay, and now there's a little like a tab right here, okay, that you can unloosen so that you can take these down and then put this off to the side. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, guys, so like I said, I disconnected the cable right here from that little piece right there. As you can see, it's right at the bottom. Let me point it at it where my thumb is pointing. And all you gotta do is push on it, opens up, releases that, so you can put it off to the side. Now I can get to this 22 millimeter nut, and for me, I just happen to have this Craftsman 1/2 inch impact what do you call it, drill. So I'm just gonna zip it off, but you can certainly do it with a 1/2 inch drive socket. So I'm just gonna put this on here and then hit it. Okay, as you can see, it's already loose, and here's the nut. Now there's a washer in there too, and I got my little magnet right there. Pick it up. There we go. Slide that out, and there's the washer. It's actually a lock washer, old style. Okay, put that right there. And now the other special tool you're going to need is a steering wheel puller. But the guy that I watched, all he did was tap on the steering wheel from side to side, and it broke it loose. Because I don't know if you can see in there, but there's like some splines that this actually sorry about that, I was just getting rid of some little fine dust in there. But so the splines, this steering wheel slides right onto the splines. Now the steering wheel is at the 12 o'clock position right now, okay, like this is straight. But if you wanted to, because if you look at the splines on the steering wheel from here all the way around, okay, it's the teeth are small, but at the very top it's like a gap. There's a gap there, and it has let me see if I can zoom in and point at it. There's actually like a dimple at the very top, right, I can point at it right there where the tip of the pick is pointing to. That is a dimple on the outside part, because this is the shaft. Right here is the shaft. This is part of the steering wheel. So it's telling you that when you put this back, and I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Okay, you see this mark right there that I'm pointing to? That mark, okay, and the dimple need to line up. But the problem is that the dimple is lined up with that part, and that part belongs to the steering wheel. But at the same time, the like I said, the gap, which is right there at the tip of the pick, that gap is at 12 o'clock. So if you take the steering wheel straight, then you should be putting it back the same way. Plus, when you line up the steering wheel like this, because you can see how it looks. Oh, let me zoom back. Okay, you can see how the steering wheel lines up with the gauges. And like I said, that's 12 o'clock right there, dead center. All right, so let's try to wiggle this out and see if it works that way. Okay, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, guys, so I tried just tapping around the steering wheel, trying to maybe vibrate it loose, but that's not working. So I'm gonna get my steering wheel puller, hook it up, and then show you guys how it works. All right, guys, so I got my steering wheel puller. This is just one adapter of the set, and as you can see, I've already mounted it, and basically it has this bracket that goes right across. You get 2 bolts. There's multiple bolts in the kit. Kia being metric, these 2 are the ones that actually fit the 2 holes that came from the factory that's built into the steering wheel itself. And you get 2 of these shafts right here, and you get some other fittings to go on the tip if should you need it, like this one, for example. This actually puts it right in the center of the the shaft of the steering wheel, which is right there. This part right here has a hole right in the middle, and at the bottom of this also it has like another point. It's like a nipple that sticks out, so it lines it up, and then all you need to do is find the correct size ratchet socket. This one happens to be a 17 for this right here, but I think a 16 would work just as well. And then you just put it on here and you crank to the right. Now I gotta have to hold the steering wheel because it's not locked. Okay, but that's all there is to it. You crank it until it comes off. And once it lets loose, it gives you like a little pop, but don't be scared because that's just like the torque braking. But as you can see, now it's completely loose from the steering shaft, and all I have to do now is disconnect this one connector here, and you just got to push up on that little white tab, and that will come with this, because this here stays connected to the other part because it's part of the like I said, the airbag. Okay, all right guys, so like I was saying, this is the bolt that you thread in here first on one side, and then you sneak that bracket in, and then you put the second bolt in here on the second hole, and then make sure that center shaft is lined up on this guy with the little point in the hole, and then that's it. And then disconnect this connector here, and then the steering wheel comes right off. Now you just have to give me 1 second here. I just have to guide the airbag connectors out the back like that, and you can see the steering wheel is off to the side. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it down there for a second. And this is the clock ring that I was talking about. So if you ever had to change this for some reason, this is the procedure that you need to. Now to get to the column, obviously you got 2 screws here. If you needed to change these switches out, same procedure. You're gonna have to take the steering wheel off, I believe, to be able to change these out. Okay. Of course, the the installation is the is the reverse of removal. Whew, tongue-tied, sweating my butt off over here today. But anyway, and just to let you know, the torque for that lock nut that goes on the steering wheel is 28.9 to 32.5 foot-pounds. Okay, so if you're going to put that back, just make sure you use a torque wrench, and make sure it's torqued to the right specs. Okay, but yeah, so I was talking about the teeth on the shaft, the steering shaft, and it looks like, yeah, all the teeth are small, but on the steering wheel, it actually has that little gap at the top, which lets you know that's the 12 o'clock position. All right, as always, Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And also don't forget to hit the like button and the notification button so that you get notified when I upload new videos. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.